How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Hisanakai, and this is Grand Theft Auto 5 with a few mods. Now, the mods list itself, I will post it in the description of this video. Other than that, I will, today at least, explain all the mods and why I installed them, with a few key mods that I wanted to point out for everybody that wants to watch this series. And yes, this is going to be a full gameplay series of me finishing the entire story with these mods installed. Of course, anybody who wants to recommend a certain modification that they want me to try, go ahead. I would love to try them, and I would love to see how they handle with my current setup. Now, the first mod that I added is called Added Traffic. It's very simple. It adds DLC traffic and mod traffic, as in it adds the DLC vehicles into your main game. So something like the Comet Retro, or the Elegy Retro, or the Jester Retro, or any of the other cars that are originally just online only, now you can get them in single player on the street driving like everything else. And this is very nice on the account that it allows me to mix and match between cars, and if I find a new interesting vehicle on the street driving, I can just nab it and drive it away. And I can save it, and it could stay in the garage. Theoretically, of course. The next mod is the Euphoria upgrade. Its exact name is the Euphoria Ragdoll Overhaul. All it does, it makes all of the hit detection, all of the movement for the human characters in game more realistic and more fun. In GTA 5, whenever you shoot someone, they simply just flinch and walk it off. But now with the Euphoria Ragdoll Overhaul, or as they like to call it, ERO, when you shoot someone, they actually react to it. So if you shoot a cop in the leg, they'll try to grab onto their leg to stop the bleeding. If you shoot them in the neck, they will grab onto their neck to stop the bleeding. It makes it more interesting down the line to see how this handles and how this feels. It makes it slightly easier on the account that the AI will have to react to certain damages, but at the same time, it makes it so much better looking when you're trying to record or you're trying to do something. The next mod that I want to discuss is pickups. Now, this one is an interesting thing because one of my biggest gripes with GTA 5 is the fact that you are a walking, talking gun store. Let me explain. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which was the first ever GTA I ever played, you were able to carry one rifle, one pistol, one melee, one SMG, one launcher, one shotgun, one grenade, and your fists. But GTA 5 decided to do something dumber. They decided to go for full-on 8 slots, and in all of the 8 slots, you can carry all of the weapons. You can carry an AK, an AR, an Orenco, a Tavor 21, a G36 in a single slot with 9,999 ammunition. That is, that's a big oof in my book, to be honest. So what Pickups does, it makes it a bit more streamlined and a bit more harder to manage now ammunition. You can carry 2 weapons, a throwable, and a melee weapon. That's it. You cannot carry more. 2 guns, a throwable, and a melee. Makes it way more realistic and way more fun, to be honest. And, to be fair, I like it that way. It makes it more interesting trying to mix and match. And you can drop your rifle to pick up a new one, or you can drop your melee to pick up a new melee, and you can grab ammunition off the floor, kind of like Call of Duty or kind of like Payday 2, where you can get ammunition off of dead enemies, and it makes it really cool. I love it. The next mod is going to be Realistic Driving 5. Now, this one is a really interesting one, because I love GTA's handling, more or less. There is a few gripes with it, but eventually it's just nitpicking. But this one, it changes the game entirely. So in GTA, the forces are handled very weirdly. Instead of the car having weight, and inertia is actually throwing you left and right whenever you turn, they actually have virtually no weight and it's just physical forces that are pushing you to the ground and physical forces pushing you left and right in game code. It's not like the game itself is calculating your car's weight and throwing it left and right with realistic forces, kind of like how the Euphoria engines handles bodies and their physics. Instead, you're pretty much glued to the ground 24/7, and if you do drift, you end up with your car just spinning a little bit and then gripping all over again and continuing on its merry way with no issue. This fixes it. It actually gives your car's actual weight, actual stability in handling, and on top of that, you now have one beautiful thing, which is your cars, they do not, and I repeat, do not lock up sideways. Power cutoff, and that's because our next mod is called Stop Powercutting. It disables the power decrease while sliding. All it does, it actually lets your torque go from your engine to your wheels while going sideways. And that is a godsend, to be honest. That is a godsend. It allows you to skid around and drift without having a drift line. If you notice in the gameplay, the Saber Turbo is just drifting all over the place without an actual handling line attached. It's just both mods and a little bit of rain. And the thing is drifting like it's nothing. And it's so fun. Oh, also, did I mention that due to all of these physical mods for engines and cars, your top speed now has been increased all the way to 407? So, all of these mods, or all of these cars rather, they now have their realistic theoretical top speeds. So, say for example, if you're driving the Bugatti Chiron or the Bugatti Veyron, which are the Nero and the Adder, they now can reach the 407 kilometers per hour. They can reach that stupid, ridiculous speed with no issue whatsoever. And it is really interesting, especially during chases and whatnot, where your car is just being flung at ridiculous speeds. Especially if you're playing as Franklin, since his ability kind of tends to push your car way above the speed limit. And finally, the leftovers of all the mods are just car mods and a tachometer and a trainer and, the tidbits here and there that allows me to have a little bit more fun with what I got. And it's really just to point out, a few of the flaws of GTA and make them slightly better, slightly nicer, sound overhauls, a few texture overhauls, graphical overhauls like reshade, because nowadays everybody plays with reshade. GTA has become very washed out over the years. But yeah, that's about it. That's the mod list that I have for Grand Theft Auto 5. And like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the first episode of GTA's playthrough. That'll be tomorrow. Today was just a small tidbit and testing of a few things on the video. Should things work out very well and people like this format, of course, I will make a whole series. Maybe once every 2 days or every 3 days, it really depends, but it's somewhere along that line. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you soon. Adios.